Hey everyone, welcome to the Week 14 playoff recap for Tequila Mockingbird Season 4.
So the teams in the playoffs again are John, Gracie, Israel, and Steph.
The current matchups are as follows in Gracie versus Israel. Gracie has a lead of 64.42 points. And in Steph versus myself, I have a lead of 24.38 points.
Thank you for the updates, John. And with that said, I'd like to welcome three of the four playoff managers who are here. Welcome, Israel and Gracie.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Hello.
Hello, and nice, John. So to start us off, Israel, I'll be asking you the first question. How do you feel going into round two with a 60-point deficit? And follow-up question, who do you think will be key to your comeback?
It's going to be tough. I mean, when you're down 60 points, it doesn't matter whether you scored 40 or 100 the week before, right? You still got to make up a 60-point deficit. At this point, looking at my team and who I have on my bench, who I have starting, my starters they've got it tough. They're facing a lot of my players are facing New England. Which is they're one of those few teams that they're ranked high against defense, against wide receivers and against running backs. So, and I've got Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams out there. But I don't have anybody on my bench as far as running backs that could carry any weight other than, Jacobs, who's been amazing this year. And really that's what it's going to come down to is what those two guys are going to be able to do for me. If they can't overcome New England, I don't have a shot. So I'm going to need a decent game out of one of them, and then I need another guy to explode. Honestly, if there's anybody who's due for an explosion, it would be Chris Godwin. Now, I only say that because if you look on paper, he's not going to explode this week, right? It doesn't look like that's the case, but that's what he did last year as well, right? He had a better supporting cast because, everybody was healthy, and he was, he got, a lot of people distracted. He was able to get those, get the volume, right? As well as get the key plays. So like there was always that argument last year as to who was that number one on that team. This year, he's kind of become the Robert Wood of that team, where it's just been he's been a volume guy, but he's not, going to explode, get a touchdown. So he's due, right? And it's an important game for Tampa Bay, especially after losing to San Francisco last week. So that'll be my explosion. If the other two guys can just hold where they need to hold, I feel pretty confident in the rest of the team being stable. And then after that, to be honest, I'm going to have to hope on Gracie having a bad week. Now, I don't want to have to, I'm not going to answer for her, but I mean, George, she's got McCaffrey facing probably the easiest team to go up against for him. So, I'm hoping he catches a nasty cramp, or drinks some bad milk before the game. But other than that, I mean, that's my fighting shot.
Yeah, very, very true. Hopefully he had his flu shot and doesn't get the flu before this weekend. And also fun starting comment is that Mike Evans has not caught a touchdown since week 4, partly because of Chris Godwin also getting those red zone looks, but at the same time, Godwin not catching them either. So we'll see if either of them are due. And hopefully in your case, hopefully it's Godwin.
Yeah, I
And
think
not for you.
Tom Brady's got
Hopefully it's
glaucoma.
Evans.
He's not seeing anybody these days.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's like top 5 in passing yards, Tom Brady, and the offense is kind of looked a little iffy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, that's what Robert Wood used to be, right? When he had Connor Kupp on his team, he was that guy. He's got a lot of targets. He's going to get 5 yards here. He's going to 5 yards there. He'll get 12 points because he got 12 catches and he had 25 yards, or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of what Godwin has become, that short red zone guy. He gets a lot of red zone targets, but he's not getting in there. I'm hoping he gets in there. Maybe he gets in there a few times and, gets me some good points.
Definitely. All right, so next we'll go to Gracie. So Gracie, your first question. Last year you outscored Paris by almost 100 points, but then he made a comeback, coming close to you within 20 points of you at one point. Do you think your team will keep a more solid lead this year, and why?
So honestly, I have no clue. Last year, I think I forgot to take a few people that were out. Maybe that wasn't for the Paris, like the game against Paris, but like the follow-up game. So I'm hoping not do that again this year. But I'm hoping to keep, riding on McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill to get me all those points. That's what I've been doing all season long. So just gonna keep that going, hopefully, and hope for the best.
Winning strategy indeed.
It's not really scientific or anything, but
Those two probably come for a
Right.
good 50% of your roster's points.
yeah,
Just got to rely on your big guns. Essentially, is what you're looking to do.
yeah.
I see.
Awesome.
And yeah, that lead where you had against Paris, I believe you did start some people that did not play. So you got too cocky, I think is a way to summarize them.
Getting really cocky towards the end. So definitely won't make that mistake again, hopefully. We'll see.
And lastly, but not least, John, this question's for you. How do you feel ending the season with the best overall record, but knowing that no one in that position has actually won it all?
That's a great question. So they say that everything happens once, and this year it's going to be that. I'm going to be the one that has the best record and wins the championship. That may sound cocky, but I'm just confident. All year I've been doubting my team, and getting into the playoffs has been a great run. I think I was on like a 8-game winning streak at one point in time before I lost to Benji, or 7-game or something like that. So it's been a great season this season, and I'm hoping to kind of keep that momentum from winning the last 4 games moving into the playoffs to kind of push me through to the end. And I believe my team now, and I have Jamar Chase back. He's healthy. He's been explosive lately, and just sort of putting it all together and pushing it into the championship. And that's what I got to hope for.
John's usually, when I see his teams, they're usually every year he comes in and has the highest points scored, and somehow also always has the highest points scored against him. And teams that would average like 100 points would go for 145 on them, right? Just pure luck. You'd see that they're like, if there was ever a season that John had an under 500 record, you look at his points and it was huge, right? So usually the person who scores the most points for some reason has the least amount of luck. I think John's done that twice in a row, or like, because I remember last year, definitely the year before that, it was really high.
Mm-hmm.
This year I got, I guess it's lucky because, I had the highest point total, but that goes to show what it means, coming into the playoffs. It doesn't mean much. You get to a certain point in their schedule or you have a bad game and that's that, so,
Absolutely.
I was hoping to be the first with highest points to come out of the second round. So hopefully I have some sort of amazing miracle week.
So there are a lot of firsts to be had around the corner for this playoff season. And because neither James nor Tej nor I are in the postseason, we are guaranteed to have a new champion. So well said, John. And I'd like to also congratulate Steph, who couldn't be with us tonight, but I wanted to point out one fun fact about her, and that is she's the only team in our league to make the postseason in every year since the inauguration. So congrats to Steph as well.
Nice. Congratulations.
Consistency. That's good. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on and doing our little video with us. We hope you guys have good luck in your matchup. Hopefully it's competitive. Hopefully, it comes down to Monday night, the last play of the game to decide it all. And whoever wins is making it to the championship, So with that said, Tequila Mockingbird
out.